How's it going, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another test drive video. This morning we are in a 1973 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 with the original 350 backed by a TKO 600 5-speed. And my door is still not closed. I got it closed now. Third time's the charm. Alright, so again we have a 73 Z28 Camaro. This is a real Z28, which is really cool. I really like a 73 Z28 because you can get a factory option with AC. And then this one obviously has the upgraded TKO 600, the 5-speed behind it, which makes drivability just absolutely awesome. And this is a really cool, really fun car to drive. Sorry, my microphone is flipped down there. We'll kind of move it over a little bit. We'll put it right there. That'll work. But what I was saying is this is a really fun and easy car to drive. Optioned with all your stuff that you would usually get on these. You have power steering, power disc brakes in the front. Again, this one is factory AC. The AC has been converted to R134A and it does blow cold. With the 5-speed, it's a fantastic car out on the highway. We'll let it warm up a little bit before we get on it. But at 65, 70, even 75 miles an hour with that 5-speed, it's a great driving car. On the interior, it is optioned with the factory tack, bucket seat, center console like these all would have had. This one does have the optional rear window defroster, which does work. You do have an aftermarket oil pressure gauge under the dash. You do have an aftermarket stereo, which works. All your gauges, you have your fuel gauge, your voltage gauge, your speedometer, your tach, those all work. You have your factory temp gauge, and then even the dash clock is actually spinning. So all that's good. Horn works. Really the two items that I have listed as not working on this car is your wipers function, but the washer sprayer fluids, like almost all these old cars, the washer sprayer fluids aren't doing anything. And then I only have an ignition key and a deck lid key. I do not have any door lock key, so you'll have to rekey the doors if you want the keys to lock and unlock the doors. So that'd be something for the next owner. But everything else is working. Parking brake, all of your exterior lights, all that stuff's good to go. Temperature gauge is coming up good now. It is nice and chilly here in Texas, so before we get on them, definitely want to let it get up to temperature. Clutch feels awesome. Shifts up through the gears, shifts down through the gears, no weird noises from the transmission. Clutch engages where it's supposed to. Brakes also feel really good. Car stops nice and straight. Power steering works like it should with no issues whatsoever. Just a really well sorted car mechanically. I do have a bunch of extra paperwork and receipts that come with the car. If you check out our advertisement, you'll see the little folder of paperwork that we have with it. There's a bunch of just miscellaneous stuff that goes with the car. About 170 or so degrees, so we can kind of get on it here a little bit. Try and get in front of this rock truck. All right. The 350 that's in this car is the numbers matching motor. As you can see, runs extremely well. Not a crazy horsepower built motor. It feels like at least they've gone through the motor, maybe has a mild little cam, has a nice exhaust system, still retains the original exhaust manifolds, nice duals that do an aftermarket like Flowmaster style muffler. So it sounds good going down the road. We're in 5th right now, cruising at 60 miles an hour. You don't even hear the exhaust. Obviously when you're in the throttle, you can hear it, but a nice kind of balance there of a good sound when you're in the throttle, and then cruisability on the highway. It's not droning you out, so that's always really cool. Underside is rock solid. Floors, frame rails, inside the trunk, the drop downs, all the metal is very nice. I found no rust issues, really no rust replacement. Just a good original metal car on the bottom side. This is the exact kind of car I like to own. It's got a lot of nice mechanical stuff done with the AC, the 5-speed. being a numbers matching Z28 as far as the motor goes. Really, really cool car and a nice solid car. Interior is also super clean. Seats, headliner, door panels, everything looks really, really good. You have your notorious dash warping that all of this body style Camaro and even the Pontiacs get. You get like a little bit of a lifting on the center of the dash there, but that's really, really common. And then the paint, if I had to guess, the paint's all of 25, maybe 30 years old. It's got your notorious imperfections on the roof line, right where it meets the quarter panel. It's got the little, it almost looks like checking in the paint or little hairline cracks in the paint where that factory lead seam is. If I had to guess, this car's probably only been painted once, maybe twice in its entire life. I didn't sand on anything to really see how many layers of paint, but I can definitely tell it's an older paint job. It still presents well and it looks good, but it is not a brand new or a new paint job, so it does have its imperfections and flaws, but it still shows well and is a nice car. As far as the suspension goes, all the suspension is stock style Camaro suspension. Performs well, no weird shakes, no weird rattles, doesn't pull left, doesn't pull right. The steering feels nice and tight, and same thing with the brakes. Like I mentioned before, the car stops really nice and straight. All your glass is in good shape. Side glasses are probably original, and there's a little bit of streaking from rolling up and down, but they do roll up and down all the way. Windshield's in really nice shape as well. Back glass is cool. Again, this one is optioned with the rear defrogger or defroster. Can't ever say that right, but it does work. You kick it on, kicks off the heat for the back window. So if you are driving it in a cold area, you do need to defrost the back window. It does work, which is cool. Really, really like this body style. Obviously, most people love a first generation Camaro, but I like this body style too. Actually, like, it's just a weird thing. I like the seats in these better than the first generation Camaro. I like the high back bucket seat and the way that the shifter and the steering wheel is set up in these cars. The 70 to the 73 Camaros is actually a better driving position for me. But again, that's just personal preference. It's just something that I like on these cars. That 5-speed is set up awesome. Downshifts through the gear, great. Clutch feels good again. Get off the gravel here without peeling out. We'll get on it just a little bit. We won't get crazy since it is 30 miles an hour along this road here. And the officer was up there pulling someone else over, so I'm not trying to be his second stop on this road today. My overall feel, this is a fantastic Camaro. Like I mentioned before, this fits the mold of exactly the car I like to own and like to sell. It shows and it presents nice, but it does have a few flaws in the paint, so no one's going to be afraid to drive it, but you can still definitely be very proud to own it. Interior's nice. It's a rust-free car on the bottom side. It is a real Z28, has the original motor, already upgraded with the 5-speed. The AC's already converted to R134A. All of your gauges are working, lights are working, just a well-sorted car. Has a great look. Love the color combo with the blue and the white stripes. Love the black interior. Other than maybe add an aftermarket EFI or four-wheel disc brakes, depending on what you're trying to do with the car, it's something you can hop in and drive every day like it sits and just have a really, really cool, fun, classic car. So definitely a fun one. Definitely excited to own this one and sell it to the next owner. It's a fantastic car, and I think whoever buys it's going to be more than happy with it. As always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my test drive videos. If there's ever anything else that y'all want to see, have comments, concerns, questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment on my YouTube channel. If you don't already subscribe to the channel, make sure you subscribe and check out all the latest videos that we do. We're putting out new content every single day. And if you don't follow us, check us out at PC Classic Cars to see all of the inventory. And if y'all ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll see you on our next test drive video. Thanks again for watching.